All right, today we're gonna see how a old, dare I say, vintage E-Maxx compares to a more modern regular Maxx. Both of them are fairly beaten up, but mechanically sound, I think. This one might have a diff click going on, as E-Maxxes typically do. Castle system, 2200 kV, pair of 2S 8000s series 4S. We all know the sound of digital Savox servos. We got two of them. And I also got the longer turnbuckle here. Normally it comes with a short one that connects this one to the bell crank, so I swapped it to that side in favor for a longer one. It's a must-do mod in my opinion. Let's see how it compares to a regular Maxx. Show you guys under the hood. A very beaten up body, of course. I mean, what Maxx isn't? Got a 1650 kV. This is the larger of the 15 series. The 4S in there wrapped in tape because I'm ghetto like that. It is a Electron 5200. Got some foam in there to take up some of the slop. Got the body pins on the battery hold down. Super important. Also a digital Savox. Stock servo on it. Really stinks. Did the fuel tubing mod here. You're never going to avoid chassis slaps, so don't even ask. It's a V2 chassis, wide arms on it. Probably my favorite wheel combo. E-Revo wheel, T-Maxx tire, not available pre-mounted. So you have to do your own gluing if you want this combo. But let's see how they drive. Let's see how they compare. Let's see if the vintage truck, the old design, can compare to the new one. Look at this, I have the whole course to myself. It's a nice Friday afternoon. I figured there'd be a bunch of people here, but no one's here. Well, no one's on the course anyway. So I got them bound up to my 5 Pro, both of them. Let's go cause some trouble. We'll start with the E-Maxx, but first I'm gonna send it over to my running spot. I actually normally run my trucks here, but let's try something different, shall we? This area is rather large, and there's a bunch of areas here that I don't mess with very often. So yeah, both trucks running 4S, both trucks running the same ESC, but the newer truck, the Maxx, not the E-Maxx, it's a very confusing naming scheme. Anyway, the Maxx has the bigger motor, mainly because I know the drivetrain can handle it. The E-Maxx, I'm sure you guys who are seeing a little bit longer than some of us people who are fairly new to the scene. Not the most durable thing in the world. The diffs, especially when you put in brushless power, they don't do very well. I think I'm getting a click right now, actually. I tend to actually not beat on these a whole lot, mainly just because I know how not durable they are. But let's see how they drive. I am not a very good driver. I rely on a gyro, and I am not ashamed of that. Let me check my gyro settings. 50%. See how they drive. Very, very soft on the suspension. Running all 8 shocks. They are big bores, I believe. Traxxas big bores. But they do have the progressive spring rate on all 8 of them. I forget what the spring rate is. I don't really care. I don't keep track, to be honest. 80 degrees, sunny. Still got some puddles from last season's rain. I suspect we're not going to be seeing any more rain here. We're only going to go up in temperature from here. One of the durability mods that I do with these E-Maxx trucks is the Hot Racing 6-puck slipper. Mainly just because the stock slipper is either loose or fully tight and no in between. So it's either super slippery slipper, or basically locked. And that makes it so you have to be really careful with your throttle, otherwise you risk blowing up the diffs. What I'm also really happy about with this truck is the fact that I've found some parts that are long gone. Robinson used to make a output gear for the transmission on these in steel. Since they discontinued these a while ago, those are basically unobtainium. But I managed to find one, which is cool. Otherwise, the transmission configuration from factory was metal input gear, metal idler, and a plastic output gear. I found that I was chipping teeth. So I went with the metal one, full metal tranny, which is cool. As you can tell, I'm babying it because I know it's not very durable. You gotta be really gentle with your throttle, really gentle with how you land your jumps. I got the RPM shock towers and body mounts, which are getting actually pretty beaten up right now, so I should probably replace them. I'm still looking for one of those original bodies, so if anybody's got a good clean one that isn't beaten up like their old Honda, let me know. Just like a truck that's been discontinued, the bodies are hard to find. I forget what diff fluid I have in here. I want to say it's fairly light, to be honest. But while we're here, we might as well try and give it a little bit of a big jump. I think we can use this. Yeah, maybe. Let's see what we can do. Well, that's not very good. Let's go jump somewhere else. I finally have a phone mount coming. The one that I ordered is actually made for a bike, but it has a clamp, and I'm thinking I can make it clamp to the handle on the radio. Not a whole lot of dedicated phone mounts without going super custom. And I don't feel like fabricating stuff. I did actually try a center diff. Traxxas does still make a center diff for these trucks. Not a huge fan because they are plastic geared, the case is plastic, and with big power comes big damage, and they just didn't last for me. Kept blowing up the casings. Might as well just come back to my usual spot. I always end up here anyway. Let me guys show you what full throttle looks like. This thing is very hard to control at full throttle. Wide stance, short wheelbase. Of course I lifted because I'm not, the full send on this truck is just not about it. I'm just happy the puddles are mostly gone. Suspension, again, very soft, I think is the best part of it. This is what I call my special occasion truck, and there really is no special occasion apart from me just wanting to compare them side by side. Crunch. I am getting a little confident though, as you can tell. As with just about every E-Maxx though, it is almost time for a diff rebuild. Yay. And I've tried them all, trust me. I've tried lockers, I've tried hot racing cases, I've tried all the gear options, the straight cut gears, the spiral cut gears, the X01 style middle brace for the internals. They just can't hang. The diffs are just simply too small for the size of the truck. I mean, it is an 8-scale truck. I don't care what anyone tells you. It's an 8-scale truck. Uses 3.8 size tires, modeled after a T-Max, right? So it is an 8-scale truck with 10-scale size diffs. So it just can't hang. There's a reason why these things didn't last very long. And on that note, let's switch on over. But let's check temps real quick. Come on. I am awful at flipping these over. This will self-right, but it's not happy about it. So let's check temps real quick. Like I said, it's 80 degrees, sunny, a little bit of a breeze. Ooh, that's a little warm. Little warm. We are censored. Battery cables, not very warm. Speed control. Wires, yeah, it's just the motor. I could probably gear down, but I'm running out of pinions for this thing. My gear selection is very minimal. Let's just park this in the shade for now. Switch over to our other truck, shall we? And this truck I will absolutely beat the ever-loving piss out of. Maybe not so much with these wheels, just because I know these wheels don't carry a whole hell of a lot of inertia and they are really soft. Even though this is on 4S with a lower kV motor, I am running basically stock gearing, 24 tooth pinion. But the wheels are a touch taller, I believe, than the stock ones. The stock wheels suck. They're just not sized right. I think they're durable enough. The proportions are just not, I don't know. It feels very much like a bulldog on a skateboard kind of aesthetic when you buy these trucks brand new. Wheels are just too small. Proper 3/8 are where it's at with these. And I know a lot of people like these on 6S. I didn't realize I was right side up. And indeed, people like it on 6S, and that's fine, and good for them, and it can handle it for sure. I just like bringing it out on 4S better. This is my preference. Where are we at? There we are. I actually just rebuilt the diffs with fresh gears because I chipped some bulkheads and some gear teeth after many, many, many battery packs of abuse. I also was running the center plastic locker that Traxxas has. Kept blowing up rear diffs, so I went back to the center diff. Oh, right on the body. And this is why everybody has a crunched body on their truck. I need to get me some new shock towers though. They're getting pretty beat up. Still got steering, still got throttle. Keep going. Keep going. I'm telling you, I'm terrible at flipping these trucks. Looks like we got a squad coming. I knew I wasn't gonna be the only one here for long. Oh, and there goes the body. Max life, what can I say? There we go. Let's make some new friends, shall we? I like the people around here. Nice guys. Let me clip up my radio. I seriously can't get this phone mount soon enough. Been meaning to do that for quite some time now. Adjust my grip on the radio here. committed to a front flip far too late. I should have leaned into that nose down and given it the old front flip. These bodies stink. That's why I don't particularly replace bodies often, because I know they're going to get beat up. And I mean, look at that. That's all bad. There we go. Will it self-right? Kinda, not really. I don't recommend it, especially not on stock electronics. Not happy about it. It's also got the metal drive shafts on it. That's probably why it's super squeaky. I don't think the bowl is empty yet. Nope, still got some puddles in it. Remember guys, play nice with people who are sharing your play space. Be considerate of others, especially if you don't know them. I do believe I met these guys once or twice though. Nice guys from what I remember, if they are who I think they are. Ooh, right on the nose. Oh, right on the nose. Oh, still runs. Right side up. Need to gear up for that. Or volt up for that. That was actually pretty soft. So what are my thoughts on these trucks? Maxx is obviously a basher. Needs a little bit of love from the factory though. Modding to your taste, of course. But in classic Traxxas fashion, even though they sell ready-to-run trucks, they make a great chassis. I think ultimately that's why these things are best enjoyed as a roller. So find them on eBay and such as a roller, build them out how you want. Landed it, that counts. Almost landed it. Ooh, I broke something. Wow, that's rare. What did I break? Three-wheel drive. Oh, look at that. I broke a, oh, no, you know what? I might not have actually broken it. It might have just popped out. Let's get some sunlight on this. Well, it's bent out of shape. Did I bust the carrier itself? You know, not really. Kind of. This is why I like plastic. It flexes. I might actually... Well, no, you know what? It's broken. It's got a crack in it. It's got a really gnarly crack in it. Look at that, and I can open it up with my fingers. Yep, need me some carriers. Caster blocks. Whatever. These things. Those things. Yes. Walk of shame. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So what do I think about these trucks? I think the Maxx is a basher, and the E-Maxx is like a casual cruiser. Enjoy the soft suspension. Enjoy the feeling of driving something that is borderline vintage, especially since they're discontinued and hard to find. I actually built mine from the ground up with parts. Not the smartest way to do it, but you know what? When you're looking for one and you want a clean one and there is no clean one, you build one. Temps are cooling off. Let's drive around a little bit. It just bums me out that factory bodies are unobtainium, because I always thought they were cool looking. They still make clear bodies in the long wheelbase though, so I'm stuck painting. And there are generic ones on eBay, but I've never actually bought one or tried one. I've heard that not ideal. The material, the Lexan thickness is not good, but you know what? Lexan thickness on Traxxas bodies is also not that good either, so what are you gonna do? And honestly, in terms of durability, they're not that bad. If you're just not like beating on it like I was with the Max, obviously, then it'll be pretty okay. See, you might have heard that click when I hit the brakes midair. Time for new diffs, but you know what? If all I have to deal with is a click, or two, and it still drives just fine, I'll just enjoy it until I have no power at all. Then I'll fix it. I know, it's kind of cheap and kind of ghetto, but you know what? So is this YouTube channel. Cheap and ghetto. Ooh, avoid the water. I don't feel like cleaning this today. But let's get a donut shot, shall we? All right, I'm calling it. Thanks for watching, guys. The old walk of shame. Do I have a guest joining me in the walk of shame? Oh, look at that. I'm stuck. He's a little love tap. Yeah, walk of shame.